A new semester brings us a ton of sports news, and here we are to break it down for the first time in 2023 on Inside the Inferno. Welcome everyone, and thanks for tuning in. Along with my partner Kenji Ito, I'm Paul Schulz. Kenji, it's your first time at the anchor desk. How's it going today?
You know, it feels great. Excited to be here, first of all, but we got lots of news, so let's just jump right into it.
All right. A much anticipated Pac-12 basketball matchup took place on Thursday night in Tempe. Aaron Gonzalez joins us with the recap.
After securing a road comeback win against the Oregon State Beavers last weekend by a final score of 74-69, Arizona State looked to keep the winning streak going into Thursday night's highly anticipated home matchup against the number 5 ranked UCLA Bruins. In front of a jam-packed crowd of 13,363 fans at Desert Financial Arena and a new program record of 5,213 students in attendance, the Sun Devils gave it their all, but the Bruins proved to be too much to handle, winning by a final score of 74-62. True freshman Austin Nunez had 10 points off the bench. This is just the 4th time Nunez has had at least 10 points in his young career. Junior DJ Horn finished the night with 14 points, and 5th-year Desmond Cambridge Jr. finished with 15 points and nailed a half-court heave at the buzzer, giving ASU a 5-point lead into the half. Despite a tough loss, the Sun Devils sit 15-4 overall and 6-2 in Pac-12 play, which is pretty good if you ask me. ASU has secured 15 wins in their first 19 games. The last time the Sun Devils started 15-4 was during the 2017-18 season. ASU is 6-2 in the Pac-12 for the first time since the 93-94 season, and only the 4th time in the Pac-10-12 period. The Sun Devils are determined to get back on track when they take on the USC Trojans at home on Saturday. Tip-off is set for 8 p.m. Now let's send it back to Paul and Kenji at the desk.
Thanks, Aaron. A visit to the LA schools and a tough schedule lies ahead for the Sun Devils. Staying with college basketball, Nicholas Hodel gives the latest update on the NCAA tourney and if ASU basketball can make their way into the madness.
Thanks, Kenji. And despite how well the Sun Devils played on Thursday night for most of that game, the 16-2 run for UCLA at the end cost ASU in the analytics. Take a look at what that means. The NCAA evaluation tool rankings, the primary measurement for resume evaluation to select teams for the NCAA tournament, ASU dropped 5 spots to 44th on Friday, losing some of the progress they made after dominating Oregon last week. Looking at the quadrants, Thursday's loss boosts the Sun Devils to 3-2 in the top quadrant, which is still a really good place to be, considering a really good record in the second quadrant. However, ASU is still battling that tough Quad 4 loss at Texas Southern way back in November, which had bracketologists projecting the Sun Devils anywhere from a 6 to an 11 seed going into Thursday night. ASU cannot rest on its laurels, though, as USC is a team the Sun Devils do not want to lose to. After taking a 15-point loss to Arizona on Thursday, the Trojans dropped to 70th in the net rankings, taking this game dangerously close to being a Quadrant 3 home game for the Sun Devils. For now, it remains one of 5 Quad 2 games left for ASU this season. To go along with 4 Quad 1 games remaining, the Sun Devils are in good shape, as long as they continue to pick up good wins. However, this can all change very quickly, especially with 3 Pac-12 teams ranging from 66th to 74th in net. The best way forward for the Sun Devils, though, is simply to win.
Thanks, Nicholas. Now transitioning to women's basketball, Ari Wall is here to break down Coach Natasha Adair's Sun Devil women's basketball team.
After starting the season 6-1, the ASU women's basketball team is amidst a tough stretch in Natasha Adair's first season as head coach. The Sun Devils are 0-7 in Pac-12 play, but some of those struggles have been out of their control. The team has been dealing with injuries all season long, with only 5 players appearing in all 16 games played this year. Those injuries reached their height last weekend as the Sun Devils were forced to forfeit 2 games due to an insufficient number of healthy players. Adair said with few healthy scholarship players, the only option was to give them time to heal over the course of the week. One positive for Arizona State has been junior guard Ty Skinner. Skinner is averaging 20.5 points per game, good for 17th most in the country. The Sun Devils will continue to rely on her to lead the offense as they look to pull off the upset when they host the Arizona Wildcats on Sunday.
Thanks, Ari. We'll see if Coach Adair's squad can finish their season on a high note. Next up, let's take a trip to the ice and see the latest from Inferno Intel reporter Kobe Bronstein.
ASU men's hockey continued their homestand with a 2-game set against the 17th-ranked Minnesota State Mavericks. With just under 5,000 in attendance on Friday the 13th, the Mullet Arena crowd was electric. They erupted after a late first-period short-handed tally from redshirt graduate transfer Chris Grando with just 9 seconds remaining. Senior defenseman Jack Judson dished out the assist and is now tied for the 3rd most points among active defensemen in program history. The Mavericks quickly equalized the score out of the intermission at 49 seconds of the second period and outshot ASU 18-10 in the period. The Sun Devils nearly doubled the roadside in shots on goal in the third, but Minnesota State found the back of the net twice in the final 6 minutes to steal Game 1. ASU netminder TJ Semptenfelter turned away 32 shots in a valiant effort to keep the Sun Devils in the game. The second contest on Saturday, January 14th, was played in front of a sold-out Mullet Arena crowd this time, but Minnesota State proved to be too much for the Sun Devils, winning by a score of 5-0. The Mavericks lit the lamp within a minute and a half in both the first and second periods, forcing the home side to play catch-up nearly the entire way. This is only the second time ASU was blanked this season, the first being against Colgate. There's no time to waste, though. The season is winding down, and with the spot in the postseason dwindling, the Sun Devils are eager to get back on track with a 2-game series with RIT on Friday the 20th and Saturday the 21st. Kenji, Paul, back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Kobe. As players all around the country prepare for the NFL draft, Carly Koskovich is here to tell us which Sun Devils will look to join an NFL franchise this year.
Over the last few weeks, we've seen 7 of our own ASU football players declare for the 2023 NFL Draft in Kansas City. Starting off with Captain Kyle Soley. Soley is a 5th-year senior out of Scottsdale, Arizona. Next, defensive tackle Nesta Jade Silvera. Not only has Silvera declared for the draft, he has also been invited to the Reese's Senior Bowl. In addition, defensive back Corey Bethley, linemen TJ Pesafea, Merlin Robertson, and Trevez Moore have also declared for the 2023 draft. On the offensive side, the running back who has only played 12 games as a Sun Devil but executed 289 receiving yards, 1,192 rushing yards, and 18 touchdowns is also heading to Kansas City. Xavier Valladay has not only declared for the draft, he will also be performing for national football programs at the invitation-only East-West Shrine Bowl. The 2023 NFL Draft will begin on Thursday, April 27th. And to all the players beginning the next chapter of their career, we are wishing you the best of luck and Forks Up for life.
Thanks, Carly. Hope the best for the future Pro Devils. Now let's hit the mat and toss it to Douglas Santo, who has the latest with the men's wrestling team.
ASU Wrestling is coming off a loss to Princeton, which became their 3rd straight loss and dropped them to number 10 in the NWCA coaches poll and 12th on Intermat after beginning the season 2-0 and inside the top 5. Although they lost the match, ASU did get strong performances from senior Mikhail McGee, sophomore Jesse Vasquez, and redshirt sophomore Kyle Parco, who each won their respective matches and all have 2-match win streaks going. ASU also got a nice performance in an extra match from redshirt sophomore Richard Figueroa, who extended his undefeated season to 12-0. The Sun Devils will look to get back in the win column Friday night, January 20th at 7 p.m. as they host their Beauty and the Beast joint match alongside gymnastics when they face Cal Poly, who they've historically dominated, winning each of the last 6 matchups and not facing defeat in 13 years. Then ASU will finish off the weekend on Sunday, January 22nd at 1 p.m. when they face Stanford, who is 0-2 this season against top 20 teams. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Douglas. That wraps up today's show, and thank you for tuning in.
To stay up to date with the latest news in ASU sports, check out our YouTube channel and follow our social media at Inferno Intel.
For Paul Schulz and the rest of the crew, I'm Kenji Ito, and we will see you next time.